Hello, everyone, and welcome to our November newsletter. And it's just incredible to think that we only have, I think I read on Facebook, 7 Mondays to go before Christmas. So, it was a slow start to 2020, 2021, and now it seems to be that we're almost into 2022, and it's just incredible how time has passed quickly. So this month's newsletter is about vibration and frequency. And I thought I would talk about this topic because it was brought up quite often in a class that I've just finished with my students, where they would just double check, so that's my vibration or that's my frequency. And regardless of how you describe your energy field, vibration or frequency, it is that tone that we emit constantly out into the universe, a little bit like the graphic in my virtual background here, where our auric field has this presence about it, which people can feel, but it also is feeling on our behalf. I think for me, what's been really interesting with just the class and with the exploration of the topic of vibration and frequency throughout the whole class. It was a long class, it was 13 weeks long, this particular course. And throughout the course, you could see the students sort of developing and changing their frequency and changing their vibration. And so how did they do that? Because that's what people ask me all the time. When they find themselves in a little bit of a merry-go-round where they're constantly attracting the same issue over and over and over again, that really does come down to vibration and frequency. It's what is it that you are sending out to the universe, which is similarly matched in vibration or frequency that is then coming back to you. And over the years, in various classes, I have sort of described this as being a submarine in the sea of humanity. And submarines ping, they'll send out a little vibration, a ping, and they'll ping each other. And from that process, they can detect or determine how far away the enemy is, or friendly, the friendships are there. And so that's what we do. We as humans have the capacity to keep sending out a signal, a vibration that then attracts in those life lessons. And those life lessons will keep occurring in your life until you change your actual awareness of what it is that you are sending out, what is your vibration. And so what that means for some of us is that regardless of how many times you meditate in a day, the food that you eat, whether it's raw, vegan, whatever it is, how you are looking at your thoughts, how you have a perception of yourself, whatever you're doing, you can read copious amounts of books as well about vibration frequency. And that's a good thing. But until you actually just stop, and turn your gaze onto yourself, and then look at yourself and see what or who is in your life, what is happening in your life, or who is in your life, then you won't really have a clear picture of your vibration or your frequency. And this is why people come to see me, because they're in that process of that constant merry-go-round. They're in that process of constantly attracting the same events, the same people, the same set of circumstances around them. And they don't understand why. And I think it's really difficult when we are needing help or when we feel a lack of support. We constantly look outside ourselves to find that support. And we probably land up with people who are equally the same, people who are looking outside themselves, also looking for support. But actually what we really need to be doing is turning ourself or our vision inwardly into ourself and saying to ourselves, how can I support myself? I think the biggest awareness of this has been through my Reiki journey from back in my early 30s, where I wasn't really correlating my physical set of circumstances and aligning that with my emotional and mental well-being. Once I started to look at my physical body as a barometer of my mental emotional well-being, then actually the physical issues decreased as my mental and emotional perspective on my life changed, as I changed my thought processes, rather than as an example of being trapped in a particular workspace, looked at why I felt trapped, dealt with the emotion behind why I felt trapped. As soon as I did that, then I certainly stopped breaking my ankle. I broke it 3 years in a row. So that wasn't the universe giving me a really big indication about that fear of stepping out of my comfort zone, that fear of change. I don't know what is, and I haven't actually done that again since I had that recognition. Another example would be when the quakes came and our business was in tatters. It was bowled over within 10 days of the September quake. It was very quick. You know, we had a house with no electric, no sewage, no running water, no way of cooking. Your life is just in that place of, wow, how do I cope with this? And I was certainly looking outside, desperately looking for help outside. And it wasn't until my lawyer actually told me and said, Phil, you're just going to have to put your big girl pants on. You're just going to have to face this. I thought, yeah, he's right, actually. Only I can save myself. Only I can save myself. And then once I had that recognition, it's funny how things in that whole process, a way forward suddenly started to appear, because I was creating a vibration or a frequency that attracted the right set of circumstances that moved that path forward. Your vibration is your vibration. Only you have control over that, whether you're up or you're down. And when we're down, that's a really hard place to be. It's a very hard place to be. And I think for myself, if I was to reflect back, I had left home. I was extraordinarily lonely. I was just so lonely. I lived in the most beautiful town in Scotland, in St Andrews. And I remember coming back from Dundee after my studies at the college there, looking out the window of this bus, thinking, gosh, I am so lonely. I am so lonely. And then suddenly I just recognized the words that I was saying and thought, yes, I am lonely. So how do I not be lonely? What do I need to do to fill those gaps? And that's where I tried my hand at China painting. I volunteered for the disabled riding. I filled my life full of people with common interests. And we all had the same vibration, the same frequency, the same passion, if you will. Especially at the disabled riding, it was such a wonderful energy to be around these amazing people, not only the family who owned the farm and the horses that participated, but the families that brought their children to participate, to us, the volunteers who participated. It was a really extraordinary privilege, I would say, to be part of that group. And it was very fulfilling. And suddenly my life was not lonely, but what I was really aware of was the vibration of the people around me, the frequency that they had, the optimism, the joy, the sense of fulfillment, the sense of privilege that we had, the sense of success that we had. So when we're really low and our vibration is really low, we can prevent ourselves from exploring other options because it feels really hopeless. I felt hopeless in that moment. I felt so lonely in that moment on that bus. But once I recognized, heard myself talking to myself, literally talking to myself, then from there, I had that opportunity to support myself and to put myself in a place where I could be amongst like-minded people. Vibration and frequency is who we are. We have our auric field, our meridian lines, and we have our chakra system, and they all vibrate at different frequencies. They all put out a tone, a message that other people can read, animals can read, humans can read, and it's through watching their reaction to us or what we're attracting into our life, who are we attracting into life, that we are seeing either a mirror of our frequency and vibration or a reflection. They're reflecting to us what they're looking for. I think it's really important to look at your sense of well-being more than just what you eat or how you sleep or how you do your daily practices on a spiritual level or non-spiritual level. I think it's really important to expand that very narrow, sometimes a habit forming perspective that we can have in our life and widen your perspective to who you are right now. What is that submarine ping that you are sending out, and who are you attracting? The good thing is, as vibrational beings and consciously living beings, we have the ability to discern. We have an ability to take a step back and to really make some really good choices in terms of, well, this is what I'm putting out to the universe. This is what they're sending back to me. Do I actually believe that? Do I want to go down that path? Or can I say, no, thank you, I need to be over here? And that's a really wonderful place to be, because we're back to self-supporting, we're back to self-healing. You're back to self-control rather than drifting along and being part of a set of circumstances that the universe is throwing at you, and you are just gliding along, having to cope with those circumstances. I think that, yes, on a technical perspective, we are impacted by the Schumann resonance. We've got the Hartmann lines, the Curry lines, the Hickman lines, all of these vibrational planetary frequencies absolutely impact us. Of course they do. The pace of life is really quick, and that's what they're saying about the Schumann resonance. It's quickened, it's faster than it used to be. And the other lines, the Hickman, the Curry, and the Hartmann lines, they're actually all the ley lines that are underneath the planet and above the planet. The Curry lines and the Hickman lines, they're about, I think about 2 feet above the Earth. And so that's the Earth's energy. How are we impacted by that? When we move to a new home, how are you impacted by the vibration of that home? Do you feel joy there? Do you feel a sense of panic or anxiety? Is that residual to the previous owner? How do you feel when you move into a new town or a city? What does that feel like? What's the vibration of how that city, how does it feel underneath your feet? As well as how does it feel in terms of the collective consciousness? And of course, we're impacted by the collective consciousness. Here in these times of COVID, we have this collective consciousness of this invisible enemy. We can't see it. We'll either get it or we won't get it. We might be in a place of interest or not in a place of interest. We have to follow ourselves in terms of how we monitor our emotions and our thoughts around that, so that we can stay in control and have our own perspective of what's going on, again, rather than being swept along with the vibration and the frequency of the collective consciousness that's out there. The thing to think about when it comes to vibration and frequency is that you are in charge. You don't have to meditate every day. You don't have to have a spiritual practice. You don't have to have any rituals in your life. If you can manage and monitor and be really aware of what is happening around you, who is there, why are they there, what are they there for, can you be in control of your own energy whilst in amongst those people, then you will always be able to raise, maintain, as well as expand your vibration or your frequency, so that you can rise above that cosmic clutter, or some people call it the third dimension. Keep raising your vibration by being constantly aware and fine-tuning your thoughts, your beliefs around those events to keep yourself moving upwards, upwards, and upwards. And that's the joy of being an energetic being. That is the joy of being totally aware of your surroundings and who is in there, in that mirror reflection process that is happening around you. It's just a wonderful place to be. So I hope that's maybe giving you a perspective on vibration and frequency and how you can maintain your vibration and frequency. Yeah, it's been a big month for just looking at that topic, working on my own frequency, and keeping my vibration on that upward trajectory, if you will. As we're coming into the end of the year, my classes are slowing down, COVID restrictions being in place, etc. So I only have one live physical class left. It's in the Rolleston Community Centre. So you can log on to Rolleston Community Centre. It's in the Selwyn district here in Canterbury. And I'm doing a little introduction to crystals. And we're going to do a little bit of heart healing, cleansing out the clutter and putting in that higher vibration and frequency. It's a wonderful little workshop. It's about a 2-hour workshop from the 20th of November. The details will be in the newsletter. It'd be great to see you there if you can pop along. As always, the Reiki classes are now into next year, so you can book ahead of time if you too want to start your journey of self-awareness, because level 1 Reiki is an eye-opener in terms of your frequency, your vibration, and your physical relationship to the world that you're living in. It was an eye-opener for me, I have to say, life-changing stuff. So you can pop onto the website and have a look at the up-and-coming dates from, I think, February onwards. And I'd like to just take this opportunity to thank one of my lovely students, Sarah, who she's been on the online academy for quite some time. She lives up in the North Island, and she just phoned up just for a chat. And she's recently just purchased the Dragon Meditations, and she was just really quite blown away with the impact, the personal impact that doing the Dragon Meditation has had on her. So I'm going to put the details in there. Dragons, although fabled animals, are extremely powerful in terms of meditation, depending on the color of the dragon themselves. So if you want to try different type of meditation, then why not pop on to the website and have a look at that particular product. Until the next time, we will see you in our newsletter in December, and getting our energy ready for the year of the tiger, which is exciting as that moves in at the end of January into the beginning of February. So it's the 31st of January, the 1st of February, we're going to move into this new vibration of the tiger. So we've got lots of energy shifts and changes coming up. It's going to be a wonderful time of expansion for you all, I'm sure. As always, keep the feedback coming. I do really enjoy hearing from you. It means a lot to me. And thank you to everyone who opens up the newsletter or watches the video. It's really wonderful to get your feedback. So until the next time, namaste, and take care of yourself and stay safe. Bye for now.